Greetings, my tacticians. I am Emperor Jadavius, your fedora-wearing Rishiram, and I am here with yet another team lineup for the Alola friendly competition, this time revolving around the weather effect Sandstorm. I call it the Alolan Dune Squad. So the overall plan behind this team is a rather simple one. Establish a Sandstorm for your team, use its effects to deal chip damage to non-steel, ground, and rock type Pokemon, while using its benefits that your Pokemon have for fighting in it. The Alola region is based around various tropical islands, so there aren't that many Sandstorm based Pokemon in the region. However, there are some very powerful Pokemon that do make use of the Sandstorm that I have been able to scrounge up for your team if you choose to pursue this team strategy. Now, before we actually get involved with the team, here are some notes about Sandstorm and what it does that actually makes Sandstorm a very dangerous weather effect to have on your side of the field. First of all, Sandstorm will deal damage to any Pokemon that isn't a Steel, Rock, or Ground type, unless they are using the move Dig or Dive. Second, moves like Synthesis, Morning Sun, and Moonlight will only recover 1/4 of the HP they would normally give. Third, any Rock-type Pokemon on the field during a Sandstorm will receive a boost to their special defense by 50% during the duration the Sandstorm remains in effect. Finally, thanks to the new Z moves, if the move Sandstorm is powered up by Rock EMZ, the user will receive an increase to their speed stat by 1 as well as establishing the Sandstorm. With all of those benefits, if you wish to pursue this team lineup, you should do your best to keep the Sandstorm up and prevent your opponent from getting rid of it. To make use of this weather, the Pokemon of Alola have some very powerful abilities which offer their trainers a distinct advantage in terms of power, evasion, or even speed to keep them one step ahead of their opponents. First up will probably be the most important Pokemon you'll need to actually make use of this team, Gigalith. Gigalith is an extremely slow Pokemon with a very powerful attack and defense stat. However, what makes Gigalith important is its Sandstream ability. As soon as Gigalith hits the field, it will create a Sandstorm Weather effect. And because it's the slowest of all the weather Pokemon, it will always ensure the Sandstorm is the only weather to stay up when the match officially begins. Simply give it a smooth rock, and Gigalith will establish a Sandstorm for up to 8 turns instead of the usual 5. The second team member is Garchomp, and Garchomp brings the Sand Veil ability. For those of you who don't know, Sand Veil reduces the accuracy of any moves used against the Pokemon by a factor of 4/5. This effectively means that a 100% accuracy move becomes an 80 accuracy move. If you really want to mess with an opponent's accuracy, you can give Garchomp a bright powder to further decrease their accuracy by 10%, effectively weakening their accuracy by almost 1/3 thanks to both the item and the Sand Veil ability. Third up is Probopass. Probopass brings the extra firepower your team may need with the Sand Force ability. Similar to Sand Veil, during a Sandstorm, Sand Force increases the power of Rock, Ground, and Steel type moves used by the Pokemon with this ability by a factor of 30%. With the bonuses of Sandstorm increasing Probopass's spectacular special defenses thanks to his Rock typing, and with powerful move coverage in all 3 typings, and Probopass will easily deal with any threat you face. Our next team member is Dugtrio, and while Dugtrio may be predictable with what it wants to do using its stats, its 2 abilities Sand Veil and Sand Force will keep your opponent guessing when it comes to figuring out if your Dugtrio is running either a Bright Powder or a damage dealing item like Choice Band or Life Orb. Fifth on the roster is Midday Form Lycanroc. If speed and power are what you need, then Midday Form Lycanroc is easily hands down what you want. With a powerful attack, a powerful speed, and even more speed thanks to its Sand Rush ability, which doubles its speed during a Sandstorm, and you'll find no other Pokemon capable of winning a speed fight. It also has a priority move to ensure nothing can move before it, and thanks to the Sandstorm benefits, you'll easily handle any threats. For our final team member, it really comes down to the trainer's choice, but a good choice would be either Gastrodon or Minior. With Gastrodon, you'll want to either use it to draw out those pesky water type attacks your team is weak to in order to power up Gastrodon, or the Sand Force ability to increase your damage output while in the Sandstorm. It also is a good way to keep your opponent guessing and catch them off guard because of how much your team relies on the Sandstorm. For Minior, using the Sandstorm's special defensive boost will be critical for setting up shell smashes, as it will be relying on the special defensive boost to protect it. If you know Minior will survive the special attack your opponent throws against it, and it happens to be a move you're weak against, giving Minior a weakness policy along with the shell smash can set you up to become an unstoppable wrecking ball. Now, this team lineup has some very glaring weaknesses. The most dominant move types that will destroy you being ground types, fighting types, waters, and grass type attacks. Against these Pokemon and Pokemon with these moves, you need to be aware and remove these threats as quickly as possible or your team will be overwhelmed. Keeping the Sandstorm up is also important. If you lose the Sandstorm, the strategy begins to fall apart. But with powerful team members like Garchomp, Gastrodon, and Lycanroc, you should be able to hold your own even without the Sandstorm. Just to be sure though, make sure to teach Sandstorm to another Pokemon on the team, at least 2. Particularly the 2 you will most bring in to ensure you have a backup Sandstorm to get your strategy back on track. If you like this team, or have your own Pokemon you'd add to this roster, by all means comment and tell me what you think. Until next time, stay tuned my fellow tacticians.